So you know what we're here to talk about. You know, I did a truth paste yesterday, so we back to back. Let's get it. I wake up this morning about 5 a.m. I see I got a text message from my guy Terrence. He got a link for me. He wanted me to check a song out. Some of you might be wondering, Joe, why are you up at 5 a.m.? Well, I also train kids in basketball. I had a kid that I had to train this morning. My guy Terrence, who is notorious for being a Drake hater, says your boy Drake is out here being real rude and disrespectful. I cut the song on, I take a listen, and boy was Drake being disrespectful. For some of you that aren't fans of subliminals and having to think when you listen to rap, this diss isn't for you. This isn't the one you want. If you were expecting to hear a hit 'em up, an ether, or even maybe a no Vaseline type diss from Drake, you're not going to get that. It's not coming. But instead, what you're going to get is the light-skinned version of those, full of subliminals, hidden messages that are meant to really pick and poke at you. Remember that line Drake had in that one song where he said, middle finger poking you in your sore spot? Yeah, that's the type of disses Drake does, poking you in a sore spot. Now I think about that, I should probably pause that. So yeah, pause on that, big pause. I'm not going to go line for line and talk about the track itself. Y'all have probably already heard it, but I'll point out a couple lines that I thought were rather intriguing. So some of my favorite lines from the track, trigger fingers turn into Twitter fingers. Subliminal. Line that follows that is the one that I love. You getting bodied by a singing nigga. God damn. Is that a world tour or your girl's tour? Yikes. Talking about you gonna make me buy Charlemagne some bottles. And what this nigga Drake do? Sent Charlemagne 6 bottles of Dom P. That in itself is low-key a diss because we all know Charlemagne be calling Drake waffle-colored, clowning that nigga because he's light-skinned and in his feelings all the time. This nigga Meek out here creating friendships between enemies because somebody feels like dissing them. This shit is hilarious. You know what really did it for me? You know what diss I noticed that really had me in tears? Art Drake used for that track comes from a World Series game where Toronto beat Philly to win their second title going back to back. As if the diss track itself wasn't enough, this nigga Drake's making Meek remember when his teams lost against his teams. So like I said, you can go listen to the song if you haven't already. There's much more in there, but the shit's entertaining. And I'll tell you why everyone finds this beef so fascinating. You got a guy from Toronto, Canada, who is famous on a television show, who's now a rapper, singer, whatever you want to call it. Got a rapper from Philadelphia, comes from the streets, real gutter, gangster rap dude who's, comes from a battle rap freestyle background. Public setting, if they were to throw hands, 9 out of 10 people would probably pick Meek simply because of his background and how he kind of came up, right? The forum chose for this dispute or altercation happens to be rap. So that actually levels the playing field a bit in Drake's favor. My bad for that burp. All this beef's giving a nigga indigestion. And why people find this so fascinating is that we're watching the guy who shouldn't be winning pummel the guy who should be winning. Even though Meek should be winning this in the eyes of many, this is now almost turning into an underdog story in favor of Drake. Because he's listening to Drake disses, praying and preaching that this nigga Meek need to come out of hiding and drop something because he's letting the baby lotion dude kill him. Very similar to when people watch shows like Basketball Wives or like Real Housewives. They want to see altercations. They want to see fights. It's entertaining. And that's why so many people are into this. It's like watching reality television. Like, no one's going to get shot out of this. If anything, it's just going to be rap. Those of you expecting a takeover versus ether type moment, don't hold your breath. It's most likely not going to happen. That's not rap today. And stay tuned to Twitter. Stay tuned to Instagram. That's where the real beef is happening. That's where the disses really come alive, man. That's the new beef in 215. Honestly, if you're disappointed that this isn't turning into some shit that may get people shot up, you're not here for the culture. You're just here for some drama. And if that's the case, go watch Real World or some shit like that. It's the same difference, but in this case, it's music. Brush up.